TigerBee.com.
Hello to all of my TigerBee.com family and supporters out there. Welcome back to another video of my Inktober, Birdtober, and all of the Tober challenges. Let's start. Welcome back to another Inktober, Birdtober, and all of the Tober challenges. Day 19, and we're getting straight into it with the prompt. As you can see, the word is crystal. After I get the setting for those crystals, I wanted to make sure I get the placement for what will be the first bird of today's art piece, and making sure that the details of this particular bird comes through nice and great. This particular bird that we're working with today in today's Birdtober challenge is the pine robin. After a light sketch, I like to make sure that I get particularly the beak and the head correct on this bird. He has more of a flat top. And then once I have that, I'm pretty happy with it. I drop down to opacity and then I move on to the second bird. I knew I was going to have multiple birds in this particular piece today just because I've been enjoying having at least two birds or at least two figures in each piece. After the light sketch of this piece, I decided to go straight in with the black ink.
TigerBee.com.
Generally what I do for sketching is pretty much what you've been seeing this full Inktober. For some changes here and there, this one in particular is almost dead on. I do a nice light lining and then I start going in with minor details. Seeing as how I'm not doing my usual full color mode, the light details for this particular bird is pretty simplistic. Cleaning up my work back and forth from putting down more details, I make sure that I keep in mind the art reference that's over to the side. And on top of that, making sure that I kind of look at it to make sure I'm not mimicking this bird particular feather for feather and just making it my own. Creating an art piece versus just being a mimic artist. And although there's a place in this world for all of the above, me, with my particular standards for myself, I like to make sure that I throw a little pizzazz in there versus just, sketching out what's already been created in real life.
TigerBee.com.
With this particular piece, I like to make sure that I get the head and the coloring as far as the black and white goes pretty on size, but I like to make sure that all of the little feathers and hairs are just really coming through pretty well. This particular bird had more of a sharper and thinner beak compared to the other one, which was more short. Allowing myself to really take in the setting and the placement for both of these birds, I want to make sure that I complete every aspect of the birds with great detail. Cleaning up the head and making sure that it's really mimicking the style of bird that it is. I like to make sure that I do my best to separate its likeliness from a different bird that either I've drawn or Inktober/Birdtober list. Feeling good about all the placements. As you can see, these birds have a little bit more of a belly, well, mainly the top bird. And that comes from the official Inktober challenge, which is plump.
TigerBee.com.
I like to make sure that I give the underbelly or the underbody a little more detail. What I used to do, I used to kind of stay away from this, years ago and try to focus mainly on just the bird's head or, just the facial attributes. But, at some point in time, becoming a full artist and really setting into what not only I like to do, but also what needs to be learned and done. I made sure that learning how to not only create the full body or the visual of the bodies, I try to make sure that I understand the anatomy of every single character that I choose. Going back into the details of the crystal now. And I gotta be honest, these crystals took much longer than I thought they would. I was really ready to, have a simplistic, easy ending to the video. The next thing I knew, these crystals took some time to complete, especially with the amount that I pretty much sketched in there. So luckily, with the power of fast forward, you don't have to sit through all of this. I could be honest with you, the crystals took longer than the actual birds. But all in good fun, and on top of that, all within the lesson plan as far as why I'm doing Inktober/Birdtober and all of the Tobers. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to return for the next installment of TigerBee.com. Also, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, love, and share.